Good morning to our Madam Chong Sule and welcome to our presentation. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here today. In our presentation, we will focus on solid waste and hazardous waste management. My name is Nurul Sabrina binti Ramadan with metric number 08DKA22F1004.
Hi and a very good day to my lecturer, Madam Chong Sule. My name is Nur Najwa Ainam Plazni with my matrix number 08DKA22F1006.
Hello, my name is Mohibah binti Miftahuddin with my matrix number 08DKA22F1110.
Okay, so basically this article 1 discuss the challenges of disposing municipal solid waste, especially in cities. Landfills are not perfect and waste is becoming more complex to deal with. So the solution is integrated waste management system that consider the specific context of a city, including its social, cultural, and economic factors. New technologies and a focus on reducing waste creation are also important for sustainable waste management. Next, the second article talks about how growing cities struggle to manage their waste. It covers everything from how much waste is produced to how to throw it away safely. Landfills are a concern, but there are other options like composting and converting waste into energy. The best approach is to reduce waste in the first place, recycle what we can, and use these newer technologies for what's left. The article also mentions how important it is to build and maintain landfills properly, and that laws, money involving private companies, and citizens' responsibility are all part of solving this problem. From the last article, which is the article 3, this article say the best way to deal with garbage is a combo reducing waste, recycling and burning it incineration. But burning creates ash that's difficult and expensive to handle. The article also recommends stricter rules to control pollution from incineration and ways to treat the ash safely. Okay, next this is the 3 article for hazardous waste. The first article says about dumping hazardous waste is bad for the environment and our health. Many places lack good system to deal with it. To fix this, we need better law, collection programs, and ways to recycle or dispose of it safely. This will help us to manage hazardous waste in a more suitable way. The second article say about hazardous waste needs special treatment to make it less harmful. One common method is solidification or stabilization, which use binders to lock up the hazardous part. This is a good way to dispose of hazardous waste, but it is important to make sure the solidified waste stays safe over time and doesn't take up too much space in landfills. For the hazardous waste, Article 3, this article discusses how hazardous waste disposal has gotten stricter in recent years. Landfills and other old methods are being replaced with reducing waste in the first place and burning it, incineration. However, burning hazardous waste also creates problems that need to be addressed, like what to do with the leftover ash and how to make sure the fumes from burning do not harm people nearby. So, the best way to deal with hazardous waste is to make less of it in the first place and then burn what is left over in a way that considers the health risks. Alright, so before we jump to the next part, let's see the video of municipal solid waste.
Mm-hmm.
Disposal problems for municipal solid waste from the Article 1. The first one is open dumping. What is open dumping? Most basic form of disposal but exposes people and environment to waste products. Health risks from pollutants and disease. Next, environmental damage from leakage, contaminated liquid, and uncontrolled gas emissions. The second one is landfills. Increasing volume of municipal solid waste strains landfill capacity. The complex waste composition, such as electronics and chemicals, makes management difficult. And the last one is long-term environmental impacts like methane emissions and potential for groundwater contamination remain. So, what the suitable management method for municipal solid waste from the Article 1? Effective waste management strategies depend on local waste characteristics, which vary with cultural, climatic, and socioeconomic variables, and institutional capacity. The implementation of integrated waste management system. First, focus on minimizing environmental and public health hazards posed by waste. Second, considering the social, cultural, and economic variable. Okay, as we can see, this is the graph that show a statistic of waste produce based on the Article 1. Next, based on the Article 2, disposal problems for municipal solid waste is the first one, landfills reaching capacity and causing environmental pollution. Second, lack of infrastructure and technology for efficient waste to energy conversion. And the last one is high costs associated with proper landfill construction and maintenance. So next, what is the suitable management method for municipal solid waste based on the Article 2? The first one is comprehensive approach, includes waste reduction, recycling, and energy from waste technologies. The second one is prioritization of landfills, emphasize the construction and maintenance of landfills for environmental safety. Last one is consideration of various factors such as legal provisions, financial resources, private participation, and citizens' right and obligation are essential consideration in municipal solid waste management. So this is the pictures of solid waste based on the Article 2. So as we can see, this is the traditional method for disposal, like composting at different scales. It's discussed including the benefits and compost. Energy from waste technologies are employed discussed with comparison between developed and developing countries and with perimeter and condition for successful operation for these technologies. This is from the Article 3, disposal problems for municipal solid waste. The first one is challenges with existing disposal methods. Landfills have limited capacity and can cause environmental pollution if not properly managed. Incineration creates residues, particularly fly ash, which is expensive and difficult to treat due to environmental concerns. Next, increasing complexity of waste management. Changing consumer habits, packaging materials, regulations, and public attitudes make it harder to develop effective waste management strategies.
Jadi seterusnya saya akan menerangkan tentang suitable method for municipal solid waste untuk artikel yang ketiga. Jadi yang pertama adalah integrated waste management approach. Jadi apa dia integrated waste management ni? Ia merupakan integrated solid waste management iaitu ISWM, lebih dikenali sebagai ISWM. Jadi ISWM ni is a comprehensive waste prevention, recycling, composting and disposal programs. ISWM ni sangat efektif kerana dia consider how to prevent, recycle and manage solid waste dengan cara yang paling efektif untuk protect human health and the environment. Ia juga mengutamakan pengurangan sisa buangan di tapak pelupusan sampah. Yang kedua adalah fokus on incinerator residues. Jadi dia address challenges that berkaitan dengan incinerator residues, terutamanya fly ash treatment. Yang ketiga adalah stringent regulation. So regulation dia seperti law tapi kita perlu patuh law ni dengan lebih ketat. Jadi dengan bahasa yang mudah, dia extremely severe or limiting that must be obeyed. Dengan stringent regulation ni, kita dapat mengurangkan sisa incinerator pada alam sekitar dan stringent regulation ni melaksanakan peraturan untuk meminimumkan kesan kepada alam sekitar. Yang keempat adalah evaluation of treatment technologies. Jadi dia dapat assess various technologies for managing incinerator residues. Dan dia juga consider environmental impact dan costs associated with different treatments option. So before we start explaining more about hazardous waste, first I will show you guys the video of what is hazardous waste.
Some of the waste that we produce every day can be hazardous to our health or to the environment. It's not always easy to understand how much domestic waste can be hazardous and why. While some waste can be easily identifiable by symbols such as corrosive, toxic, flammable or explosive. There are other items which are harmless when used but hazardous when disposed of. Batteries, paint, thinners, disinfectants, pesticides, glues and expired medicines emit hazardous chemicals as they deteriorate. Some chemicals, when touched or inhaled, can cause respiratory problems or irritation to the eyes and skin. It's important to note that medicines, oil and other chemicals should never be disposed of in the sewage system. Other items are toxic. If they are dispersed into the ground through the sewage system or otherwise, they can poison the soil or water and eventually end up in our food. Items such as syringes, thermometers, light bulbs and tubes contain hazardous chemicals. If they are put with other items, they can be very dangerous, both to you and the waste handlers. All these types of waste should not be disposed of in the black bag or the recycling. They should be taken to a civic amenity site and disposed of as directed. Batteries can also be taken to specific collection points. If disposed of correctly, all hazardous material that cannot be recycled will be disposed of in a controlled manner. With a little effort, together we can reduce the amount of hazardous waste that ends up in the environment. But it's not just better for the environment, it's better for our health too.
Now that you know about the hazardous waste, I can now explain to you about disposal problems of hazardous waste for article 1 that we found. The first one is improper disposal practice, which is open burning, incineration, and dumping contribute to health risks and pollution. The second one is lack of data information, so insufficient information on the quantities of location of hazardous waste exacerbates the problem. The third one is inappropriate handling in developing countries, such as India. The population in India is too much that it can cause a severe hazardous waste. Not only hazardous waste, the municipal solid waste is also severe in India. The third one from Article 1 is inappropriate handling in developing countries, improper use and disposal of household hazardous waste, HHW, particularly in developing countries like Senegal, pose significant challenges. Seterusnya, the suitable method for hazardous waste untuk artikel yang pertama, iaitu solidification and stabilization. Apa dia solidification and stabilization ni? Ia merupakan a widely used treatment, a widely used method, dan dia refer to a cleanup method that prevent or slow down the harmful chemical wastes seperti contaminated soil, sediment, and sludges. So this method usually doesn't destroy the contaminants. That is one of the reasons why it is mainly or widely used for prevent or slow down the harmful wastes. So these are the classification of hazardous household products. As we can see, we only 6 in it, but we know that there are a lot more of household products that is hazardous. So from what we can see, it is automobile products such as gasoline, motor oil, wiper fluid, hair oil, and many more. Home improvements such as paint, air freshener, varnish. Health and beauty products is such as nail polish, hair dye, if pesticides, rat poison, flea killer, mothballs, and poisoned, and many more. For household cleaners, it's such as furniture polish, oven cleaner, toilet bowl cleaner, and many more. And for miscellaneous items, it is fabric dye, toner, cartridge, low energy light bulbs, and many more. Jadi berdasarkan artikel yang kedua, the disposal problem for hazardous waste from article 2 is limited data on long-term effectiveness. Jadi kita tak tahu how well the solidified waste perform after disposal in landfills. Yang kedua adalah increase disposal volume. Jadi solidification ni boleh increase volume of the waste, making landfill is more pricey, more expensive. Jadi, suitable management method for article 2 untuk hazardous waste adalah ada 3, iaitu legal and regulatory framework, establish appropriate laws and regulations governing hazardous management, implement policies for handling hazardous household waste. Yang kedua adalah waste product responsibility, iaitu dia promote waste product responsibility and extended producer responsibility. Yang terakhir adalah recycling centers. Macam kita tahu, recycling centers ni adalah bahan-bahan yang diproses untuk digunakan semula daripada bahan-bahan yang telah dipakai. Jadi bahan-bahan yang dipakai itu diproses semula untuk dijadikan barang-barang baru. Jadi recycling centers ni adalah untuk utilize fixed and mobile recycling centers for proper disposal and recycling of hazardous waste. Jadi seperti yang anda lihat di atas ni adalah graph yang menunjukkan bilangan population yang kena poisoning of hydration by waste. Apa yang kita boleh conclude daripada graph di atas adalah poisoning of hydration by waste extremely increasing. Jadi dari artikel yang ketiga, the disposal problems are landfilling, surface impoundment, deep well injection, and waste minimization. Jadi landfilling present risk of contamination. Yang kedua, surface impoundment, dia similar to contamination risk as landfill. Yang ketiga adalah deep well injection, potential for groundwater contamination. Dan yang keempat adalah waste minimization, which is while positive, it doesn't eliminate all the waste. Next, the suitable management method for artikel yang ketiga adalah waste minimization, process control system, and advanced incineration and thermal destruction. Jadi yang pertama adalah waste minimization. Dia prioritize the minimize waste to reduce overall hazardous waste for generation. Yang kedua adalah proses control system. Dia implement control system dan strategi untuk make sure that the operation is efficient. Yang ketiga adalah advanced incineration and thermal destruction. Dia adalah untuk manage hazardous waste effectively.
Okay, next, this is about general orientation of incineration, subsystems and typical process component options for Article 3. So basically, this mind map shows about contamination risk associated with hazardous waste. It is important to understand that hazardous waste poses significant health and environmental risks due to its nature toxic. The information delves into various types of contaminants found in hazardous waste, the potential pathways for contamination, and the adverse effects on human health and environment. It also shows the importance of proper storage, handling, and disposal of hazardous waste to mitigate these risks. Additionally, this may address regulations and guidelines for managing to waste minimization contamination risks. So overall, this is likely detail provides information on the specific risks and implication of hazardous waste contamination. So as we can see from the slide, we have waste preparation, whereas the below is blending, screening, shredding, heating, atomization, RAM, gravity, auger, and lance. And for the combustion, we have liquid injection, rotary kiln, fixed hearth, and fluidized bed. So, and after we did the process of disposal of hazardous waste, we must have air pollution control, like quench, heat recovery, venturi fabric filter, pack towel, spray towel, tray towel, and many more. And next, at the below, from waste preparation, move to waste feeding, go to combustion chamber, and we can do ash disposal or combustion gas conditioning, and go to particulate removal, acid gas removal, demister, and step. And if we look at the combustion gas conditioning, particulate removal, and acid gas removal, it goes to one at the below, which is residue treatment. And from residue treatment, it can return to WWT, which is wastewater treatment, or return to process, or go to ash disposal. That is like dewatering, chemical stabilization, or secure landfill. some circumstances based on the article that we make research before. So the first one is increasing volumes of municipal solid waste. This one based on slide number 6. The statistics of waste produce indicate a significant rise in municipal solid waste generation. This circumstance justifies the needs of effective waste management strategies to prevent overloading of landfills and reduce environmental pollution. And the second one is health risks from hazardous waste. Hazardous household products are classified based on their potential risks. The poisoning of hydration due to waste addition poses a serious health risk. The circumstances justify the implementation of proper disposal methods to protect the human health and environment. Number 3. Contamination risk. Landfilling, sound impoundments, and deep well injection are well common waste disposal methods that present contamination risks. This circumstance justifies the importance of waste minimization and the adoption of sustainable waste management practices to mitigate contamination risks. And next, number 4, which is environmental impact. So this one is municipal solid waste and hazardous waste contribute to environmental degradation. So this justifies the urgent need for waste minimization, recycling, and proper disposal to reduce the environmental impact and promote sustainability. And the last one is disposal challenges. As we know, hazardous waste disposal poses significant challenges for us. The disposal problems highlight in Article 3 that emphasize the complexities of managing hazardous waste. So these circumstances justifies the development of comprehensive hazardous waste management plans to address the disposal challenges effectively. The next one is compare and differentiate the issues and propose for municipal solid waste based on the article that we researched. So issues for the Article 1 is increasing waste quantity and complexity, open dumping health and environmental risks. Whereas the Article 2, large waste generation, ineffective waste reduction and recycling, landfill, environmental and health concerns. And the Article 3, the issues is dynamic waste management, changing consumer habits, regulations, and challenges in managing incinerator. So the proposed solution for the Article 1 is integrated waste management systems, new technologies for waste management, and increased consumer responsibility. And for Article 2, comprehensive approach, which is waste reduction, recycling, and energy from waste. And the second one is improve landfill construction and maintenance. And for Article 3, integrated management like waste minimization, recycling, and incineration. Reduce landfill waste like organic waste diversion, promoting incineration. And the last one is stringent regulations for air emissions and self-incinerator residue management. So next, I want to differentiate of the issues and propose for hazardous waste. For Article 1, the issues is improper disposal practices like burning and dumping. The second one is lack of data on hazardous waste quantities and inappropriate HHW disposal in developing countries. For Article 2 is need for effective solidification or stabilization techniques, lack of field data on solidified waste performance, and increased volume of stabilized waste for landfills. And next one is Article 3, which is the issues is replacing traditional methods like landfills and impoundments, and need for further treatment of incineration residue. And the last one is changing waste composition and health risks from incineration. And for the purpose for Article 1 is legal and regulatory framework for HHW management and HHW collection programs and waste product and producer responsibility. For Article 2 is solidification stabilization, which is S of S, with appropriate binders and ensure long-term properties and field performance of solidified products. And last one is Article 3, which is prioritize waste minimization at the source, implemented advanced incineration and thermal destruction methods, and general process control for incineration. So these concepts can be applied in engineering technician practices considering public safety, environmental well-being, and sustainable development, which is sanitary landfills. That is, engineering technicians can ensure proper landfill construction and maintenance to prevent environmental hazards like leachate contamination. The second is waste minimization and recycling, which is technicians can be involved in designing and implementing program to reduce waste generation at source and promote recycling initiatives. And last one is composting. Technicians can also composting organic waste, reduces landfill burden, and creates a valuable soil management. And so for the examples, improper disposal pollutes the environment and harms people. So the technicians can help design safe waste handling facilities. And the regulations and clear rules like for household hazardous waste are crucial, so technicians can be involved in implementing these policies. The third one is solidification or stabilization turns hazardous waste into a more stable solid form. This one technicians can help operate and maintain as equipment. And the last one is minimization waste at the source is the base approach. This could involve redesigning products or processes. Technicians can play a role in promoting these changes. And this is some of guides or codes or acts for MSW, which is Municipal Solid Waste. The first one is National Waste Management. The strategy is sets national goals and guidelines for MSW management, may vary by country. And the second one is Landfill Design and Operation Regulations. This is to ensure safe and environmentally sound landfill construction and maintenance. The last one is recycling guidelines. This is defines acceptable materials for recycling and proper sorting procedures. And for the hazardous waste, we have transboundary movements of hazardous waste and their disposal. Like this international treaty regulates the movement of disposal of hazardous waste. The second is Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, which is POPs. This international treaty restricts of certain hazardous chemical, and the justification. These guides and regulations provide a framework for safe and sustainable hazardous waste management. They address international cooperation, specific hazardous materials, and national implementation strategies in creating a comprehensive approach to the problem. And the last one is some impacts of MSW and HW for our community or environment. So the first one, environmental impacts. What we get from that waste, like air pollution, water pollution, landfill issues, like too smelly or we don't have enough storage. And it can be worse if we do not manage the waste properly, like incineration concerns and hazardous waste. Impacts for social is public health risk, of course, and living conditions like orang tak nak duduk dekat satu tempat yang sangat berbau and kotor. It will memudaratkan kesihatan atau keselesaan kita, and economic costs. And for engineering considerations, we need a sustainable practices like engineering. Like I said before, engineering must contribute designing landfills for more proper systematic management and technological solutions and regulations and policy. I think the regulations and policy, this is for the government to restrict the regulation. I think that's all that we can share, that we can explain. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.